Hi diddly ho, neighborinos.
We're making bad decisions tonight.
You claim it's a bad decision. I call this normal behavior.
So, back playing American Truck Simulator, but the difference tonight is we're going to be getting drunk.
See, this is just DUI simulator minus the cops.
I mean, basically. Now, my original idea was every time I break a traffic law, it was to take a shot, but we'd all be dead in 10 minutes.
You would be dead in 10 minutes.
Weezus, you haven't watched me play this game before, have you?
You've never drank with me before, have you?
True. Holy shit, that was actually really goddamn good. That was better than I was expecting it to be.
Slancha.
I just knocked back a double shot of fucking Fireball and Southern Comfort.
Oh. Woo!
Weezus, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a 50-50 mix of Oizo, which is a Greek licorice liqueur, and the other half is an Italian mint liqueur. So it's licorice and mint plus 40% alcohol raging through my tonsils.
That sounds fancy.
It's not that fancy. Like, imagine Listerine if you dissolved a candy cane in it and then did a shot.
So, I know I finally have my own truck, but because I'm probably not going to be the best at driving, especially right now with what we're doing, I'm going to be still doing quick jobs where I don't have to pay for everything out of pocket.
Maybe perhaps you can be interested in, maybe, I don't know, doing some business operations for me, if you can catch my drift.
And we have the return of Al Pacino, Weezus.
I have, upon further recognition, listen to me, it's the start of the ruination. Upon further reconsideration, I have deduced that it is not Al Pacino, but in fact Joe Pesci, who I have been trying to impersonate.
Either way, fucking.
Either way, let the drinking and the driving continue. Rest assured, my speech is not indicative of my sobriety levels.
Unplug my controller because that just vibrated against my desk and it was really fucking loud.
Slancha.
Oh, fuck me. Am I driving a goddamn it, it's a fucking road train.
Ooh.
Well, I can't wait to see how badly this ends.
Nani, I have to apologize because you're going to be the only sober person in the room in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, no. In fact, that might be actually a good thing because I got to stop you from driving recklessly.
Don't worry, I'll just sleep in the back of the bed. Nani can take the wheel, and Josh, you come cuddle with me.
No thank you.
You don't have a choice in the matter. I'm no longer asking.
I do not consent to this.
Dad, consent is a myth.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You have the illusion of choice. Don't worry, I'm not gonna stick my penis in you.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, I think you already had too much to drink.
Shut up.
Oh, if this one somehow does not get age restricted, I will be shocked.
Look, just put DUI simulator in the fucking title and we'll be golden.
Oh no, I'm calling it Drunkin Truckin.
Drunkin truckin.
Hell yeah.
Drunkin trunkin.
Holy shit, Weezus, how much have you had to drink before I started recording?
As I said before, my speech patterns are not indicative of my sobriety levels. In other words, I talk like this even when I'm sober, never mind when I'm intoxicated.
You know, I don't think I've legitimately ever seen you sober.
You don't come to think of it, that's a very good point, because the only time you talk to me is when I'm at home.
So it's like, honestly, I can't tell if you're ever sober or not.
I'm a lot more sober than I think a lot of people give me credit for, but by the same token, like, to me, sober is like sober. I'd say in the 18 hours a day that I'm awake, on average, I think I would be considered intoxicated, quote unquote, at least 15 to 16 hours out of that 18 hours.
Whereas for me, tonight is going to be like the first night in about 4 or 5 months that I've like actually had a lot to drink.
Good. I'm glad I can share this moment with you.
It's like the last time I drank was around Halloween.
Oof.
Not because I didn't have access to alcohol, but just because I don't really drink all that much. Oh, that's what that fucking is. I was wondering what that was.
See, mine ranges from, alcohol to weed, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I mix the two, which is really fucking nice. Because like, people that haven't smoked before, the best way I can describe it, it's like, imagine being drunk or like super buzzed, but you have far more control over your body. Everything just feels like really like loose and kind of like
numb almost.
No, imagine like lag in a video game, but in real life. Like you can feel the lag itself.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But it's not like rubber banding kind of lag. It's just like if you've ever had a dream where you're running and then like you go to punch something and you feel your arm just like go through the air at like a fucking slow motion camera. That's what it's that kind of feeling. Like you're suspended in time space.
Apparently dust storms are a thing in this area.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know Dust is in this video too.
No, he's at work. Because he's got to be an adult. How else are we going to buy that prison? Yeah, that's right. I said I'm buying a prison.
Pouring another shot as we speak.
Hell yeah.
Spruce this shit up.
That one was just pure Southern comfort.
Janis Joplin would be proud. I mean, I am Janis Joplin, but
that wouldn't fucking surprise me if you were a reincarnation of Janis Joplin.
I truly believe that I am, or one of her counterparts, like someone of that nature from that time period.
You're either Janis Joplin or Jimi Hendrix.
I'm definitely not Jimi Hendrix. I'm pretty sure I was a woman in my last past. No, I'm serious. Like, I'm pretty sure I was a woman in my last past life. In the past life before that, I'm pretty sure I was an orphan. And now, hear me out on this one, because if I'm in my eighth life now, because I've had 7 past lives, my 7th past life, I'm pretty sure I was a woman, possibly Janis Joplin. My 6th past life, I'm pretty sure I was an orphan, probably from Europe, who joined either the Navy or a merchant ship and died in a hurricane at sea. And that's why I have a fascination with that era, but a crippling fear of open water and traveling on open water, despite the fact that I also have a deep fascination with naval maritime history. And I know that I was an orphan in one of my past lives because tarot card readings and the like, despite what some people might say about those. Haters gonna hate and all. Like, I know what I know. Have I mentioned my witchcraft practices on this?
Not on camera, no.
No? I'm surprised. Yeah, so for those that aren't in the loop, I'm a witch, for lack of a better term, really. Honestly, in all of reality, I practice a variety of different religions, kind of culminating into one, kind of like my own version of hoodoo, which is completely separate from voodoo. Now, hoodoo is you take voodoo and then you add a bunch of different Western and Eastern folk religions and mysticisms and early Christianity, a bunch of other stuff, and you get this custom blend of pre-modern religions. Um, I am like a variation of that, where I do the same method but with different ingredients. So I take basic Wicca, what most people would refer to as witchcraft, like with the fucking, crystals and herbs and incense and offerings and things of that nature. And then I take influences from Buddhism, Hinduism, Shintoism, Druidism, paganism, shamanism, voodoo, hoodoo, Christianity, and a variety of other religions and practices. And I kind of just take what fits for what I want out of it, and I make it fit to my religion or my, what can be considered a religion. And so I basically, instead of worshiping one god or one specific group of gods, I worship every god to ever exist in the universe and nature itself. There isn't one specific higher power, in my belief. It's a culmination of higher powers through varying levels of existence. So we're on the third dimension because, you have 3D and 2D and 1D and so on. We also have fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, seventh, eighth, ninth, etc. And I also like to, believe in the Stephen Hawking's multiverse theory, which plays into this. So it's like you have all these different dimensions, but it's like an endless possibility of dimensions. You know what I mean? So if one dimension does, like, it's a very long, arduous, complicated thing, but it's like, it really, it's about what you put in it is what you get out of it. You can put as much as you want into it, or you can put as little as you want into it, but you reap what you sow. The more you put into it, the more energy you channel into, what you're doing, the more you throw yourself into this, the more it's going to pay off in the end, essentially. Now, with that said, according to my practices, there's no wrong way to do it as long as your energy is in the right place. If you fuck up a spell, because I cast spells, and by spells I don't mean, we're not talking like Harry Potter where I'm making feathers levitate off of tables or shooting lasers out of sticks. It's more of a, giving the universe an offering and then asking for protection or some kind of, benefit in the end. It's like, here's a nice little sachet of, herbs and spices, and here's some nice incense that I know you guys like. Oh, and here's some booze while I'm at it. Do you mind if I get that job at the end of the week? That'd be really helpful. And then that, simple shit like that, because I believe that to ask for, it's all, it plays on the, multiple different laws and regulate, system of checks and balances. None of this is all without its cause and effect. It's basically Newtonian. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. To ask for money, that money has to come from somewhere else in reality to come to you. So if you ask the universe for $1 million, you might get it, but that money's coming from somewhere else. Never know where it's coming from, and it's not just money, it's other things. So you have to be careful with what you wish for or what you ask for, because like I said, it doesn't come without its consequences. So I usually prefer to keep things low and simple. Protect me from anxiety today, protect me from this, protect me from that, help me with this, help me with that, and in exchange I give something back. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's all about a give and take system.
I've always been sorry to cut you off, and I've always been very interested in this stuff, but a lot of my family is more very much, I guess you could say, traditionally Christian, so it's like
I know exactly what you mean because I was raised in a very traditional Catholic household.
basically
And I
like
converted to paganism.
what I
after high
was.
school.
Now, I wasn't necessarily raised religious, but, you know, my family's always kind of held, as I said, traditional Christian beliefs, so anything like that was just straight out of the question to even fucking learn about.
Well, if you ever have any questions, or if anyone else watching this episode, you know, I'm more than happy to answer them. I also commune with the dead, so. But I think that's already been well established.
Not necessarily with the dead, but
Like,
you
I
had
don't
mentioned,
talk-
you had
okay,
mentioned
let me
Maurice
clarify
before.
real quick, and then you can say whatever you want to say. When I said I commune with the dead, I don't mean like I go into a trance and talk to the dead people or anything like that. I just mean like if there's a ghost in my presence, I can like synergize with the ghost. Like I can make the ghost understand that I'm like on the same wavelength. Like I want to help, you know. Like I can offer up my energy and allow their energy to penetrate my energy, and we kind of like find mutual ground as like, you know, a spiritual mutual ground type of thing. Like I'm an empath to humans and ghosts alike.
Also, I want to point out that me rear-ending that Prius about 5 minutes ago was not actually due to alcohol, but I fucking turned my chair slightly and it caught my fucking headphone cable and yanked it out of my PC. So I had to plug that back in. And there we have Weezus adding wheat to the mix.
Look,
Hey, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
I know.
I'm just pointing out for anyone who doesn't know what that sound was.
Oh. Look, it wouldn't be. I can't drink in this.
Fair enough. Also,
I
Naughty
can
has
smoke
just been
and not drink.
totally silent.
Yeah, because everything Lisa said has kind of, I've just been blown away. I've literally been like, he's really astounded.
Yeah, he's an interesting man, isn't he?
Fucking. So, in addition to like offering, you know, basically having this like symbiotic, that's basically what it is. It's a symbiotic relationship with the universe itself and predominantly nature and everything that encompasses, you know, a very grounded, you know, it's like everything around us, everything from the rocks on the side of the street, the grass, trees, bushes, plants, animals, everything has energy, not necessarily a soul, but like how everything is made of atoms. Those atoms are constantly moving around, even in solid objects, you know, even the densest materials, those atoms are still moving on some molecular level that generates energy. So everything has energy, both physical and metaphysical. What I do is I find ways to tap into and channel that energy, and then I use what I learn and gain from doing so to better my own situation. In return, I offer things that I know that the universe or gods and such, whatever form they decide to take at the time, you know, things that I know are known to please them, such as incense, you know, so sage, copal, dragon's blood, which, despite the name, not actually dragon's blood. I've had people ask. It comes from the dragon's blood tree, which is found throughout Southeast Asia and parts of the Indian Ocean, like in Madagascar. The reason it's called that is because the sap is like this deep crimson blood red. So when you cut it, it looks like the tree is literally bleeding. It's really metal.
Yeah, I've heard of. I think I've actually seen Dragon's Blood once when I was a kid.
Yeah, and it has like this really sweet, sickly smell to it too. Kind of like I don't even know how you would describe it, but it's not like, when I say sickly sweet, I don't mean like kind of like rotting flesh sickly sweet. I mean like
It's just very pungent.
like a really earthy perfume. Like think of Aladdin, right? And think of what that marketplace must smell like. That's what I'm talking about. And so things like that, you know, these incenses, they come from the trees. They're harvested. A lot of them are harvested in very specific ways just to maintain that magical, that mana, that energy, that juju, whatever you want to call it. That everything embodies everything, I should say. And so, what I practice and what many of these religions that I take from practice, one of the core fundamentals is, instead of harnessing nature and energy to bringing it under our thumb, we work in tandem with nature, the universe, and the energy around us, so we both benefit. One never taking more than they need from the other, and at the same time giving what they can back. And in doing so, living in this cycle of yin and yang, this harmony of give and take.
Mm-hmm.
And those of us that know how to balance this energy, this symbiotic relationship, once you bring that under your understanding, and it's not hard to do. It's just, you got to open yourself up. You got to open your mind and open your heart. You can't, and if you don't believe, it's not going to work. That's why many people try it, and then they're just like, well, nothing happened. I didn't see any like fancy sparks, or money didn't just rain out of the sky, or whatever, whatever exaggerated or unexaggerated, comment they make.
So,
to
just basically, the way I've always understood stuff like that is, when you ask for whatever from these things, it's what you're going to get is not what you want handed to you, but more, you're basically asking the universe for an opportunity to get what you want, is my basic understanding.
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean. Yeah. So if you say, if you're praying to the universe or whatever deity or, archangel or guardian or whatever, because they come in many different varieties. You have the old gods, the ones that created the universe itself, because it had to have come from somewhere, obviously.
Yep.
However, what happens after they create it, is, I believe in both, a scientific and religious, creation of the universe. I believe that something created the universe, but after that point, it was all up to science.
Because, who's to say that, divine intelligence or whatever you want to call it didn't create the universe and just kind of said, okay, fuck it, now whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
And that's exactly what I believe happened. That exact process of just it's there, and now I'm just going to quite literally let nature take its course.
It's like, I made this thing, now let's see what happens.
Exactly. And, this will segue into something else about it in a minute. But the whole, what Nani, or what you said about the, when you ask for something, it's not just instantly manifested, or even when it is, it's not in full, or like for example, if you pray or give an offering and ask in return, I want to come upon a great sum of money, whatever that may entail, on your end, that is. You can do so.
But it's like, you're not going to have just a fucking pile of money manifest in front of you.
And get a call from your lawyer and say, hey, your great uncle Bobby, who you've never met, just died and left you his entire $50 million fortune. It's going to be more of you lose your job, and then soon after you get a call, or you find a clipping in a paper saying that they're looking for a high-paying job that fits your description. You call them up and everything goes well, but it's a process. It's over time. Nothing like that happens immediately.
Yeah, it's like the universe is not going to just hand you what you want.
No. Think of it this way, right?
It's basically...
the way I see it is like the universe is like the human race's parent. Right?
It's going to gently nudge you in the right direction to get what you want, but it's not going to outright give it to you.
Exactly. And
it's going to open the door, but you have to make the choice to walk through.
Exactly. And that exact statement that you just made about nudging you in the right direction brings me to my second and probably final point on the matter, unless you guys have questions, because this is really all I got off the top of my head, that is. But in addition to this whole symbiotic relationship with the universe thing, going back to... Yeah? Who the fuck? What? What? Oh,
Man, some more.
yeah.
But that was lit. Good. I have to go there.
Yeah, no, it's... Huh?
I'll do fine next.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Well, I'm just on a straight stretch of road here. I'm gonna pour myself another shot.
Hmm?
You can spend about.
Oh, watch
Jeez.
out, crazy!
Oh shit! What happened?
You ran into the
I
guardrail.
don't know why it's money. Or maybe
And this is why you don't drink and drive,
I
kids.
know, right?
I tried to warn you, but it was too late.
My bed's over here.
Oh, I know. Furniture.
No, nothing's different. Everything that's in here is the same. I just moved everything around.
At least that's what
Yeah.
I definitely.
Yeah.
Right, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll go,
I totally thought I was good, but I guess I started drifting.
What? 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 It's not strong liquor.
That person was impatient.
I know. But the reason it hits you so strong is because they put sugar during the distillation process, which stunts the absorption into your stomach, which makes you think you can drink more than you can.
Drivers.
So you end up hitting it all at once. I looked into it, Mom.
Even when he's not
The
directly
sugar
talking to me, he's
slows
giving us
down the
valuable
absorption
information,
in your
folks.
stomach, so when you drink it, it doesn't hit you right away. Which,
Oh.
you know, so most people drink more than they can handle, and then it hits them all at once. No, that's over like the course of like some of those I bought when Marissa was here. What, Ma? Oh my God, Ma, chill out.
Be chill.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm pretty much somewhat done at it.
All right. Fuck my goddamn life. Can't get any fucking privacy.
The joys of living with parents.
Fuck off.
To be fair,
not
I
my
had
fault.
the exact same conversation with my mother. If
No, eat my fucking ass. It's not my fault. Rent around here is fucking $2,000 a month.
I mean, hey, I'm stuck in the same situation. Like, I'm not fucking calling you out for living. I live with my mother too, so.
I know you're not. I'm just saying I wish you'd take the hint. Normally she's not that talkative. Normally she just comes in and then she fucks off. Why she decided to
no.
poke around and look at everything, I don't know.
I don't think you're stable enough to drive right.
Probably not. I'm like 4 shots in. I also need to get to a gas station.
Anyway, as I was saying, going back to the past lives thing, fucking, fuck me, goddammit. I don't even remember what I was saying before.
Neither do I. Fuck. Naughty, do you remember what Weezus was talking about? Because you're the
I
sober one
remember,
here.
but I don't remember what I was gonna. or
No,
what I
because a
was
lot
gonna
of the things he keeps saying are going right over my head, because my brain can't really understand it.
I do believe we were talking about the way that.
Oh, now I remember.
Perfect.
So, basically, I've had multiple past lives. Everyone's had past lives. And the way past lives work is, because I'm sure everyone here listening to this has heard that term thrown around so many goddamn times, but I don't think a single person actually knows. Basically, what a past life is that me, for example, right? I've had 7 past lives. My mom has had 19 past. She's on her 20th right now. And the way past lives work is that, remember those higher dimensions that I mentioned before? Like the
Mhm.
4th and 5th dimensions? Basically, when you die, And this is all according to me. I'm not speaking objectively.
So this is
You
just
know.
your theory on it.
This is my theory, but this is, again, these are all things that have, everything that I've said up to this point, some religions, one or another, believes what I've said. So I'm not just pulling everything out of my ass. I'm getting all of this from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I have varying sources of information and influence.
You good?
Yeah, just some chick wants to see what I'm talking. You two chuckle fucks.
I'm sorry, we're literally probably cock blocking you right now.
No, please. No. First of all, she's in South Dakota, which is like 1,500 miles away from me. So, maybe even 2,000 miles. Secondly, she's 17.
Yikes.
Look, I
Yeah,
would
so
have
I
said
have-
the distance thing isn't a problem, but when you said the age thing, yeah.
Look, I've dealt with the distance thing enough. I don't want anyone farther away than a couple hundred miles at best, and that's assuming both of us have situations where we can freely travel. But the past lives thing. So, hold on, let me message her real.
Yes, I'm aware I'm running out of fuel, game. You do not need to remind me.
So the past lives thing, basically, I've had, the way they work is like, those higher dimensions, like when you die, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go to, heaven is real, right? It's just not in the way that, like, Christian heaven will have you believe. You don't stay there forever. And it's not really like a paradise. It's more of like
A way station, as it were.
kind of, yeah. It's like basically when you die, there's a whole cycle, like the water cycle. Like the water starts in the ocean, gets evaporated, goes in the clouds, rains down, ends up in the ocean, and starts it over again.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the ocean as the human world.
Right.
When you die, your soul gets evaporated. In that evaporation process, there's multiple things that happen. And according to my belief system, you basically when people say they have their life flash before their eyes during near-death experiences,
Yep.
that's actually your soul recapping everything that happened during your life. Because when you in the process of passing on to the higher dimension, or back to the higher dimension, all of your spiritual family, who like my friend Jason that passed away a few years ago, he committed suicide. He's my brother on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
in that spirit world. So when I die, he's going to be sitting next to me with all my other brothers and sisters and family in that world. We're all gonna, it's like a home movie theater, and you basically rewatch your entire life together. And that's kind of the weird part, is like, when I say your entire life
Oh,
with your
boy.
what is essentially your family, I mean every single moment that you have ever seen with your own two eyes. Okay? Think real hard about what I'm saying right now.
Jesus
and where I'm
Christ, that
trying
is-
to go with this.
That is honestly more terrifying than the concept of hell to me.
But see, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because while you do relive those very, like, look, for those that are too stupid, Nani, to pick up what I'm saying, think of every private moment you've had during your teenage years where you were, if anyone were to walk in right now and see me like this, I think I'd rather jump off a bridge and crack my head on a rock. Moments. Okay? Nothing is safe, right? And you watch all of this with what is essentially your family. But in that world, negative emotions and energy don't exist. So judgment, hatred, things like that, they don't exist. So your family, you recap it so you watch it in the same way that sports players watch replays of their previous games to learn from where they went wrong, what they did right, who they met, and so on and so forth. And they take that information and they carry it with them when they go up to fully go back to the higher dimension. And while you're there, you're chilling out with your fam, you're, doing things or whatever. But because time doesn't exist in that world either, it's like you would basically think of it like you're watching TV with a group of friends and one of you gets up to use the bathroom and you come back 30 seconds later. That's basically what they experience. It's the same thing. You're all just sitting there. One of you gets up. It's like, oh, I got to go spend a lifetime in the human world. I'll be back in 30 seconds. But it's not even 30 seconds because time doesn't exist there. So it's like you get up, you leave, and then before anything even happens, you're already back to them on their perspective. But for us, it's like an entire literal lifetime and everything that encompasses. And so you do this endless amounts of times until your soul on that side is content with what it's done. Essentially, it feels like its mission has been fulfilled in this world and in this dimension, and then it can rest for eternity, essentially, or until the end of time, whichever happens first. So that's why some people can have only a few past lives, and some people are like my mom, where you have 20 or 30 past lives. I've only had a few, and my purpose in each life isn't without its purpose. And I'm sure you're wondering to yourself, well, what about people that are murdered, or people that die of suicide, or in abortions, or car accidents, or every manner of way that people can die? And to that I say, it's all intentional. It's supposed to happen, because when you're on that side, before you get up to use that bathroom, that the metaphor that I used before you come to this world for the next time, you draw up a script, a list. You basically detail your entire life from start to finish and how you want it to play out. Kind of like creating an OC for a fanfic, and you draw up that entire. Think of it this way. Think of your favorite fan fictions on the side.
Right.
And now imagine if that were reality. Like that were someone's actual life, and that author, in the same way that author drew up that story for that character, your soul draws up your life for that particular life. So if so someone watching this right now is, going through some stuff, you know what I mean? There's a good chance that your soul specifically wanted that to happen because it meant that you're going to learn and develop from it, and you're going to take, even if you suffered the absolute limits of humanity's depravity in this life, right? You're going to take that information with you into the next life. My purpose in this life right now is to learn as much as to be a human sponge, to learn as much as physically possible. My mom's purpose in most of her past lives was to help and heal other people. She was a medicine woman. Now it's to enjoy herself because she's helped so many people before her. Now it's time for her to focus on herself in this life. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a beginning, a middle, and an end, regardless of what it is. Abortions, the soul chose to have that chose to be aborted, but it's not without its reason. And it doesn't even have to be, you can be suffering the most, right, in your life. Oh, God damn it.
You good?
I'm going to fucking kill myself. Hope to God I get a better situation, a better roll of the dice next. I swear to God.
Are you okay, dude?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just hate when people interrupt me because it's like, all day I go hours without saying a single word to anybody. And then the very minute I don't want anyone to talk to me, everyone wants to talk to me suddenly. And it pisses me off. Because it's like, y'all had all fucking day to have these conversations. Why is it now the one time that
it's like when you're fucking busy doing something else is like when everyone's trying to get a hold of you.
And it pisses me off because I have such a hard time finding things to do during the day. So having a conversation with somebody would be the best thing ever. It never happens. And then the second I settle down and find something to do, everyone's blowing up my line.
Yep, that's relatable.
So anyway, going back to what I was saying.
Who the
before,
hell just joined the call?
Egg.
Oh, hey, Egg.
Yeah, so going back to
Hello,
what I was
fellow
saying
adults.
before, every
Oh, god damn it.
it all has its purpose, right? And you basically draw it up for, like this long. It's called a life chart, and that's how a lot of like psychics who are like genuine psychics, not those like, ooh, there's someone on the other side trying to talk, like actual clairvoyance, right? They can read these life charts like it's a movie script, like a giant scroll, and they can read it like it's a book, and that's how they can tell you these things. Things that happened years, decades in the past or decades in the future. Although the ones in the future are, blurry and, hard to read because they haven't happened yet. They haven't manifested. Whereas the ones in the past, that's how they're able to read things in the past but not the future because it hasn't manifested yet. So you're going off of very vague images and energies, whereas things that have already happened, they've already happened. So anyway, think of it like a map in Minecraft. You fill it out as you go.
Yeah.
It's already predestined. It's just up to you to
figure
check
it
off
out.
each of those markers. And that brings me back to the thing that started this entire tangent once and for all, is you saying that the universe nudges you, in the right direction. Maybe you didn't say that, but that's the point I'm going for.
No, that's exactly what I said.
Anytime you have this life chart that you're basically destined to follow. So, cosmic destiny and, pre-chosen life paths and shit, those are all real. If you ever like happen upon something, you're like, man, it's almost like this was, it's almost like it was meant to happen. Like I was chosen to have this happen to me. That's probably because that's exactly the case. And anytime you stray from this life path that you've chosen for yourself, there's some sway. You're allowed, you have free will on this, this plane of existence. So you're allowed to pick and choose your own adventure, kind of like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but your soul basically writes its own version for your own self. You know what I mean? It's a choose your own story, or what we perceived in you. So anytime you stray too far, like I said, you have some wiggle room to work with. But really speaking, the universe tries to keep you on this path that you've chosen for, because you're meant. Either you benefit from it or someone in your life that you come across benefits from you being in their life, type of thing. You crossing paths with someone, could be like you being in a certain place, certain time, and crossing paths with a certain person. You don't even have to so much as say a single word to them. You just have to simply cross their path at that specific point in space and time. And that can be your entire life's purpose right there. It can be that minimal, and it can be as dramatic as important as being, a global leader or whatever. But anytime you stray too far from that chosen, predestined path, the universe will try to cause things to happen to push you back on that. And now that can be good things, or it can be bad things. Like if you start dating a person that you're not meant to be dating in your life, according to your life charts, the universe will do things to try and end that relationship, and it might hurt, and it might feel like your life is falling apart, but in the end, it's for your benefit. My marriage, for example, I wasn't meant to be who I am. Wasn't meant to be in that kind of relationship with them, and it took me a long time to not only figure that out, but to come to terms with it and actually end it. And since then, my life has been getting better and better.
It's very interesting to think about.
like I said, it's not. It's a hard pill and a heavy pill, for a lot of people to swallow, and understandably so.
Like, I
mean,
think, the reaction to most people would be to just outright reject that idea.
I've been called crazy before. I've been like one of my coworkers. I'm sure I've mentioned him before. The crazy conspiracy toting postguardsman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm TLDR if I haven't. He's a former Coast Guardsman, but he basically found Jesus after he left the Coast Guard, and he also had PTSD and shit. He's kind of off his rock, but he's also hyper religious and he like pre-Bible and shit. And he always spouts on about fucking like the end times and the second coming and how some like biblical apocalypse shit, that sort of thing. How we're all going to hell and to repent and only the worthy will be saved and this and anyway. So I told him that I'm a witch, and I told him that I practice all of this shit, and he's like, bro, you need to knock that shit off right the fuck now. I'm like, I don't think so.
Man.
It was funny seeing the look of like shock on his face. Where he's like, "Bro, you need to get I think he actually took a step back when I told him that. He was like, "Bro, fuck away from me."
Man, I gotta just fuck. Let me just point out that this is not where I was expecting a drunk episode of this to go.
See, I get very talkative.
I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It is just unexpected.
Well, yeah, you would think it would just be stumbling over our speech and just spouting a bunch of nonsense, but when I get drunk or high or hell yeah, I get very talkative and very, deep about everything I say.
And then there's Nani, who is probably just sitting there silently going, what the fuck?
You talk about one hell of an episode.
I hope I blew at least one person's mind besides Nani's.
Well, you've given me a lot to think about, that's for sure.
Your situation, for example, it's like, as much as it sucks to live where you live, sometimes you need to suffer before things can get. Because like I said before, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Mm-hmm.
For everything that happens, something bad needs to happen to keep the balance of harmony in the universe. And vice versa. For every bad thing that happens, good thing to follow. And like you said, it's not necessarily going to be right away. It could take days, weeks, years, decades, centuries even. Which is why I don't believe a lot of the shit that the news and media will have. Yeah, there's a bunch of fucked up shit going on in the world. There's no argument there. But for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So for every bad, fucked up thing that's happening in the world, there's plenty of good things going on as well that are happening right under our proverbial noses.
That we don't even fucking see.
Well, we see them, but we don't acknowledge them. We don't give them the time of day that they deserve. Sometimes it's better that way because some of the best things happen and work the most efficiently with the least recognition. Because they don't get bogged down by all this, You know what I mean? That's why some of the best charities in the world, you don't see them doing global tours or interviews with news media outlets and shit because they're too busy actually doing shit and making a fucking difference.
Mm-hmm. It's hearing you say all this now. It's like I understand. How the fuck am I speeding? God damn it! But it's like. And now I understand how you are able to just stay so goddamn chill.
Yeah. I mean, weed helps, don't get me wrong. But it's like, for so many years, I was struggling like you just wondering, how can everything seem so fine and so wrong at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
And then I got introduced to it through my mom, from friends from high school and other places, and it's just like, The more I dug, the more I learned, and the more everything place. Why does my mic keep coming? Look, if it's not my vocal cords, it's my mic. One or the other keep cutting out on me.
Yeah, I've been noticing that, but at least you're like still enough is coming through where you're understandable.
Yeah, it just drives me nuts. Almost, I've said this before. I talk in a way where the weight of my point rests at the end of my statements.
Mm-hmm.
And the irony of that is that my microphone loves to cut off the end of all of my statements unless I talk very slow and concise. It doesn't understand my accent.
We have the same microphone, do we not?
You don't have my accent.
True.
Or my dialect, I should say.
How am I coming through? Because I've got my mic kind of far away from me right now.
Mine's like literally less than arm's reach. Like I'm touching my microphone right now.
That might be the
and my
problem.
arm is bent at a 90-degree angle.
That might be the problem because the blue snowball can kind of fuck up when it's when you're too close.
It doesn't matter if it's in front. If anything, it works better for me when I'm far, when it's closer to me than when it's far.
All right, fair enough.
I don't know. I was doing ASMR for Casey the other day.
And we're not going to talk. And we're not going to talk about that on camera.
Not that kind of. Get your head out of your ass.
Talk about it.
Hey, I know the kind of shit that you and Casey do together, so oh fuck.
Guilty as charged. But no, I wasn't whispering sweet none to her. I can.
You know what the funny part is your
just,
microphone is going to shit right now.
I don't remember a lot from that session because it was like a 7-hour video call that we did. What I do remember was pretending to be an old-timey radio caster. Because I collapsed the tripod on my snowball, and so I was holding it by the legs like a microphone, you know.
Which
and the grill part of it reminded me of like those old-timey like 1930s style microphones with the fucking grill over the wire.
Yep.
And so I was doing my best like old-timey radio talk show host voice, and Casey was eating that shit up.
You know, when I like think of that, for whatever reason, you just sound like Alistair in my head.
Who?
You know, from Has Been Hotel, the radio demon.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I forget who that is and what he sounds.
Basically, like exactly what you're thinking, like kind of Brooklyn accent, fucking.
Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. Take your seat.
Fucking almost exactly like that.
Hold on, I gotta. Oh, the humanity! Look at the travesty of it all! Oh my God! Who's broadcast? Bruh.
I apparently hit something.
Holy.
Am I wrong? I'm assuming you're watching it.
What? No, I'm trying to find the transcript to the Hindenburg news clip.
Oh.
Because I am a chode. Oh, the humanity, look at the travesty of it all. Oh my God. I should just commentate this video. And number 1 is off on the races. Number 5 is up on his tail. Number 6 is coming around. And number 8 is... There I go.
Cuts off at that.
Goddamn fucking microphone. I'm gonna come and shove this microphone up, you fucking asshole. speaking of assholes, did I tell you about the chick that I met on another Discord server that wanted to suck the farts out of my ass?
Yes, and please do not bring that up on camera.
Why in the hell not?
Because it's like fucking just no.
Should I have God bring it up? They're like, yo, guy on the island, you don't have a fart fetish, do you?
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh god.
No, why the hell would I have a fart fetish? I don't know. I'm just what, you know.
Why in the hell would you think I have a fart fetish?
I don't know. You were dressed in a dead chick's outfit. You tell me who is crazy here.
And that is the last I'm gonna do with that voice because I don't want to destroy my throat tonight.
I can't wait to get back to that scene.
Right?
I've been told I should do voice acting, but it's like, I don't know. I don't think I'd be a very good voice actor.
You definitely would be a good voice actor.
I've also been told I should do ASMR, but I don't know about that one either, Chief.
I prefer to stay away from ASMR.
Look, there is good ASMR, there's great ASMR, and then there is like the weird fetishy shit.
Yeah, it's the real fetishy shit is the reason why I don't like it.
Trust me, it as much as I agree with you, like, and I agree with you 115,000%. However, it's like walking through a landmine field, you know, or a minefield as it were. You know, let's say you want sleep, because I use ASMR also. It's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine, I'll admit. And that is because, as I'm about to explain, you know, it's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack, you know. Just because you're looking for something that is otherwise wholesome and completely, you know, unadulterated, or actually, I hope I'm using that word, uncontaminated, let's put it that way. You know, it can be quite hot. You gotta sift through a lot of shit before you can find what you know, if I type in, you know, and this is just completely spitballing, so don't take this any, you know, one way or the other. Girlfriend cuddles you to sleep, ASMR, you know, female for male type of thing. I can assure you, the results that pop up from that are anything, you know, what you imagine would pop up. Believe me, there is shit on there that I never thought would see the light of day. I found 12 back-to-back videos of beats you to sleep or beats you unconscious to help you fall asleep, and it's literally just a POV of you on the floor getting your head caved in with everything from shoes to bricks and concrete blocks and shovels.
Jesus Christ.
It's like Yandere werewolf girlfriend beats unconscious to help you fall asleep. You think I'm making this up, but I'm really
no,
not.
because I've seen shit like that too. It's just like, holy fuck.
And this is why I agree with Nani for once in my fucking life. I can't, you know, I'll be tossing and turning at like 3 a.m. trying to find some videos to help me fall asleep. You know, because you have to remember, I lived with my wife, fiance person, for 6 months. And I would fall asleep almost every night on video chat with almost 5 years. 4 years, really, but whatever, who's counting? My point is that falling asleep with another person in my bed or on camera or whatever, you know, became the norm for a very long time. So having that not in my life anymore has been a struggle.
I mean, I feel like I'm about to get yelled at for saying this, but have you considered buying a Dakimakura?
I will shove my foot so far up your ass, you will be able to lick the tip of my boots, and I will then shove my hand up your anal cavity behind it, pull out my foot, and use you as a human sock puppet.
I mean, let me.
I already have a 5-foot-tall anthropomorphic panda plushie. I do not need a Dakimora to add to the combination.
I mean, to be
I
fair,
am
have,
already
like,
reaching a level of pathetic that I should not have otherwise reached.
Dude, I have 3 Dakimakuras and one of them's a furry, so.
You're not helping your
Get
case
me.
at all.
I mean, I wasn't trying to. I'm aware I'm pathetic.
Talking between me and you. Un momento, por favor. I will be back in just a moment.
You see, now this, folks, is what I was expecting to happen more with us being drunk.
It's a good thing I'm not drunk.
Maybe you should change that.
No. I would never drink. Absolutely.
Jesus Christ, my
Nani?
forest voice is starting to slip out now that the alcohol and the intoxication's starting to kick in a lot more.
Nani, drink with us.
Jesus H. Christ, please never do that again.
What do you get, big boy?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay,
Are you
so
gonna
the
stop
spell
me?
kinda drew me from Reese's doing that, actually.
Are you gonna come over here? Are you gonna stop me? What are you gonna do? Huh? What are you gonna fucking do? Nothing, that's what, because you little fucking bitch.
Dude, you are literally, like, making my entire body recoil in pain.
That's what I do best. What can I say?
Oh, God.
I think I've been traumatized.
That could be of assistance.
This fucker in a station wagon just... Could you fucking not?
I am just simply assuring the fact that everyone listening to this is extremely uncomfortable, because that's when I am at my best.
You got every right to be.
Hey, look, man, some people like that shit. I don't get it, but you know what? To each their own. Ow. See, this is what I'm saying. People, I would do good ASMR.
But further outing myself as a pathetic loser, I would say I have 3 Dakimakuras and there's another 4 that I'm planning on buying at some point within the next few months.
Get me one of them.
You disappoint me beyond recognition.
Nani, you want one? Buy one yourself.
I don't really have a card for that. Most of my money's usually physical.
Have you not heard of prepaid visas?
Nani is what we would call technologically impaired.
Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes, anyway.
No, Nani. I'm talking when it comes to this stuff. You are what we in the business call cognitively impaired, which is just fancy talk for straight up retarded.
Yeah, unless it goes to PCs or games.
Get your 16-bit trash out of my face.
Hey, no. I will shove as much of that 16-bit trash in your face as I damn well please.
I'd like to see you fucking try, you little shit.
Okay, fine. I'll make sure to bring a SNES to your face and bring it right directly to you.
I love the SNES. I just hate the fact that you think everything needs to be a 16-bit version of every good song to exist.
I hate that misconception about myself. I happen to like songs that usually only appear as 16-bit songs. Like, for instance,
But my point being, Nani,
like the athletic team for Super Mario Bros. 3.
Okay, no, you are going to cease with the talking.
No,
all I'm
you
saying
wanna know what my
is...
favorite version of the song is? From Super Mario Galaxy.
I swear...
Which isn't
No.
a 16-bit mode. It's the orchestra version. I like that version the most.
I am willing to concede to the fact that you have enough cognitive function to differentiate between good music and 16-bit music.
Yes.
Now, with that
It's
said,
just the fact that most
No, no,
of
no,
the
no,
songs
if-
only stay in 16-bit.
If I
now
may, Naughty,
again, with
What he
that
is trying to say is you are still fucking retarded!
No, but what I'm trying to tell y'all is, if there's a version that's not 16-bit, I'd rather listen to that one.
And yet-
Nani, let me finish for God's sake. Instead of digging yourself a deeper hole. All I was going to say was as valid as that point you're making is, period, or comma, you have not exactly done yourself any favor trying to de-establish that viewpoint. In other words, the reason myself and so many other people have that opinion of you is because that is the opinion you have given us of yourself. In other words, you have, instead of reinforcing belief to the contrary, you have done everything in your power to reinforce the idea that that is actually how you feel. Now, if that is not the case, I apologize, but you haven't exactly done a lot to make me believe otherwise.
dude, every time I
I
try to
can't-
send him, like, any music whatsoever, he just refuses to listen to it because it's not chip tunes.
Yeah, because it's just not that good. I just don't like most like real music.
I have
Okay,
sent you
I'm gonna-
I don't
fucking...
like voices
Josh,
songs.
Josh, what is your opinion of Led Zeppelin?
Led Zeppelin is one of the greatest rock bands of all fucking time, and
Oh,
Nani, and Josh, be quiet for a second. Nani, what is your opinion of Led Zeppelin?
Led Zeppelin is easily one of the worst musical groups I have ever heard, and I would stick by that opinion always. I absolutely hate Led Zeppelin.
Josh, what do you have to say to that?
Nani, I want you to
I
know
think I'm broken.
that should we ever be in the same room together, I'm going to remove the soul from your body!
Yeah,
Thank
don't
you,
worry
that
about
is all.
Crazy, like you got me in line because there's other people want to do that to me as well.
No, by that I do not
Like,
mean
look,
that I'm
I am
going to
all-
kill you. I mean I am going
I
to
am-
find some witchcraftery bullshit way of permanently separating your soul from your body.
Now, I am all for people having their own tastes in music, but Nani, I've said it before and I'll continue to say it to the day I die. Go fuck yourself.
Oh my god, this is why I love you two so much.
As much as you infuriate us, we love you, Nani. I feel like Weezus does not share that sentiment.
No, I'm pretty sure he does, but in a different way.
Let me put it this way. Nani is like... Nani's like really bad leftover Indian. You know you shouldn't eat it, but you continue to do it anyway. First, but it's like, it's just so damn tasty. You can't stop, like, indulging yourself. And then you fucking shit your brains out the next morning. You're like, God, what the hell was I thinking? And then you do it again the next week, and you're like, man, this is some great leftover. What could go wrong?
Oh, that's fucking brilliant.
Like, you know you shouldn't indulge it, but you do it anyway. Decision, and then the next opportunity that arises, repeat the same mistake anyway.
Yeah, the really sounds about right.
And that's what it's like being friends with.
Yep, that's being friends with Nani in a nutshell.
It's like it hurts you in so many ways, but you continue to give in anyway.
Yeah, and I don't understand why.
Neither does anybody else.
Well, somehow I managed to reach my destination without causing a horrific accident, because I'm pretty drunk right now.
Oh, that was one hell of a drive.
I mean, I'm not saying I did it flawlessly, but all things considered, no one's dead, so... I consider that a win in my book.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm going to stop this, because we're going on like an hour and 10 minutes.
Alright.
Any closing words from you two?
Fuck you, Nolly.